Flashman James, do you think streamers are going to stay around for a while or disappear like Vine stars? That is a good.
A lot of Vine stars turned into.
That is a good question. I think streamers have more longevity. And the reason I think streamers have more longevity because you tend to fall in love with the personality of the streamer. Streamers are just personalities, bro. Like, I mean, like what Kai Cenat is doing, what Act is doing, what Ninja, any of those guys. Is Ninja still around?
Yeah.
Ninja's still around, right? Those guys are just personalities at the end of the day. It's just that they're, distributing their personality through a different platform. Like you're used to seeing personalities on television. You're used to seeing them on radio. You're used to hearing them on podcasts. Streaming is just a new thing. 12 years ago, 13 years ago, people would have been asking the same question about podcasters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a large dedication of time, though. I think that's the barrier for entry. Is like the really effective streamers stream for hours on end.
Yeah.
And some stream just the whole fucking day.
Yeah.
Vine is 3 seconds. TikTok stars, like you can see the influencer trend starting to fall apart. And it's not this falling apart, but it's like anytime like something is easy and people make a lot of money doing it, it attracts everybody. And then once everybody does it, there's less money for everybody, and then it kind of dies.
But the most talented people will be around.
The most talented people innovate, they change, they do cool shit. The thing with streaming, which is different than like TikTok, doing the dancing or the modeling or these types of things, is that you need to do that shit for 8 hours straight. Not a lot of people are willing to dedicate that time.
Yeah.
And so you already are going to shrink the amount of people willing to give it a try. Everybody would lip sync or dance or take a shirt off or do whatever for views. And if you found out you could make millions of dollars doing that shit, you're like, fuck yeah, I'll do it.
And if people are willing to invest that type of time into you, like they staying around,
they're building a deep connection. 100%.
Regardless if they staying for 8 hours at a time, or they're coming back and forth between those 8 hours.
Yeah.
People like that have no choice but to be around because people are too invested in them.
Yeah, I think streaming is not going anywhere. I say it's not like you said, it's not as frivolous as some of these other things.
And like what he said, do you think streamers are going to stay around? The only other thing I would say is the demo, because you do outgrow things as a consumer. But I think to what Taylor said earlier about some of the Vine stars, I personally believe somebody like a Kai Cenat can evolve. And whether it's acting, whether it's
talented,
whether it's hosting a variety show, I just think there's other things that he'll be able to do.
You make a great point. I think streaming will always exist. I think that there'll be a lot of new streamers that continue to come up because as people age out of stream, in order to watch streaming, you need a lot of free time. Kids have free time. Adults just don't have free time, right? So I would imagine the majority of the people consuming the content in the actual live stream are children. And the adults that are fans are watching more clips or a YouTube thing somebody puts out, et cetera, that is referencing it. So unless you age up with your audience and change what you do, as your audience ages out of the stream, you might lose fan base and then it moves. So the talented ones will always innovate. That's just how it works.
And diversify. Like I think Act did a very good job of being a streamer.
Yep.
And then I think, launching the podcast was perfect.
Exactly.
Because now you're establishing yourself as a personality. I mean, we know you had personality because we've been watching you.
But now you're an interviewer as well. You're developing new skill sets.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And I think Kai is doing the same thing. Kai hasn't, started another platform outside of streaming like Act has, because Act does the podcast and streaming.
They've done different types of streams, and he's always theming his stuff.
The sketch stuff I think is really good.
It's almost like a reality show.
Yeah,
so he's adding reality elements. You've seen this streamer Speed do it. Like he's doing this global tour, and it's a really brilliant way to galvanize audiences around the world, because it's like, okay, here I'm in Poland, and now I'm in Italy, and now I'm in Croatia. And it's like you're basically becoming the world streamer by doing it. And it's just really smart. So the guys that are really smart and effective and innovative will always succeed. They'll figure something out.
Has Kai been in movies?
I don't know.
Not yet, but it's coming.
I was like, it's definitely coming. I know Kevin Hart's going to try to put him in.
I already knew Kevin putting him in
He's
something.
saying it.
I do wonder about the Vine star. Only Vine star I can remember wasn't DC Young Fly was on Vine, if I'm not mistaken.
And
King Batch.
King Batch.
I'm trying to think of people who kept going.
Drews,
I think Logan Paul.
Not Drewski.
Was on
Logan Paul was on Vine?
I think so.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
But who's the guy we had? Who was a
We don't give Logan and Jake enough credit, man.
Yeah, man.
Just the way they were able to go from
Forgetting his name.
internet personalities to full-fledged stars.
You
Like,
have to develop an art. Like you have to. You can say whatever you want about Logan, but you can't say that he's bad at wrestling. He's dedicated the time to be good at the thing. Same thing with Jake.
Jake in boxing.
He is.
Yeah.
So they're not doing like influencer boxing. Or influencer WWE. You know, when like you see a famous person that pops in for a second. You're seeing actually skilled talent, passionate execution.
That's right.
And that is the difference between the influencers and the stars.
Same thing with the DC. I think that Jess hilarious too. I give them all that credit because I remember watching them. I fell in love with all the mentors. Cardi.
Exactly. She dedicates the music. If you don't have an art, you flame out quick and nobody really gives a fuck. It's as simple as that.
You got to find one thing.
And
by the way, that's the advice I give anybody, even people that aren't screaming influence. Find one thing you want to do.
Yep.
I met this cool kid at the airport yesterday. He was 18 years old, tall as shit. He's a boxer.
Yeah.
And he was just talking to me and he was like, man, you got any advice for me? And I told him, I said, yo, find one thing it is that you want to do. Same, I give that advice to everybody. Find one thing. I don't care what it is. He is a boxer. Find one thing you want to do. Dedicate to that. Focus on that. I promise you everything else will fall into place.
Because that is how you stop going down the influencer trap. Because now that the influencers aren't making the money that they used to, they're not getting the attention they used to, they're starting to realize that the jig is kind of up.
Jig is up.
And what do you do when the jig is up? You have to do more extreme things to get the attention.
Oh my God.
Cool.
So if you're a girl, you start doing OnlyFans. You used to be able to just take pictures in your bikini. That don't work anymore. That's not getting the same clicks. You're not getting the same brand deals. The money's low. You already bought 3 Lamborghinis. You got to find a way to pay for them.
Wow.
And OnlyFans. And then you start just naked on the OnlyFans. And then the money starts to dry up there. Now you're taking dick on the OnlyFans.
Can you imagine sucking dick on OnlyFans only to get upstaged by a person who didn't even suck a dick, just described dick sucking in such a pure way
Talk to it.
Yo,
that it captivated the world?
Yeah.
That shit would piss me the fuck off.
100%.
I'm out here really sucking this dick.
100%.
I'm out here really spitting on these motherfuckers, come all down my throat.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Jerking off
Please
motherfuckers,
cut this,
smelly
anybody.
balls and shit.
Yep.
Meanwhile, this young lady
Just talking about it.
described it.
Romantically.
Woo.
That's the difference between art.
Is she getting a TV show?
She needs something.
Damn.
She
You
needs
know someone's
something,
gonna
bro.
cut that.
Cut what?
I'm going to cut that part.
Why?
Cut what?
No, as in like I'm gonna make it just isolate sucking dick and everything else you were saying.
All right.
Okay, Taylor. If that makes you feel better about
It does.
yourself.
No, I already know what I'm gonna do with it.
The Hawk Tour girl still doing better than you.
First of all, says who?
You said you suck too.
I said says who.
Oh, I thought you said.
Jesus
I was like,
Christ.
damn. You just reduced yourself to that.
I suck too.
I suck too. Suck too. You want to be the suck tour girl?
Taylor's a suck to a girl.
I didn't even say that. We're not about to make that a thing.
That's what you just said.
God.
Stop. I said, yo,
That's what you said.
I literally did not say that.
Suck tour. Ooh, that'd be a great. Somebody make that on Mortal Kombat. Suck
sure.
tour versus Hawk tour. Taylor versus the Hawk tour.
stop.
Suck tour versus Hawk tour.
It's Sub-Zero Scorpion.
Yes.
Oh my God, you're annoying.
All right.